Hello, hello. Thank you everyone for bearing with us as we got to the draft. The counter was a little bit off, and it happens sometimes where I don't estimate the amount of time draft is going to take correctly as we're booting upstream. But we're back for week 2 of PSU LCS on this fine Friday evening. Once again, I am Infamous Trash, joined here once again. We're getting another familiar face. Let's go. Consolo.
Hi. Hello
Back
again,
at it.
everyone.
Yep. We just finished up the third-party draft again. Still working on those graphics. We'll get there when we get there. So that will be coming up shortly, waiting for us to get into in-game draft. But matchup tonight, Monarchs versus Monster Energy Team. So definitely a little bit of an interesting matchup for this evening of the Blue Conference.
Yeah, the president,
Yeah, the
the president of the club is on one team, so any team that beats him will be immediately banned from the tournament.
So we might assume. But Monarchs currently sitting in 6th place in the Blue Division at the 1-1 scoreline. Not too terrible start for them. Monster Energy Team not too far behind, 1-3, facing off against... Who'd they get 0-2'd by? Monster Energy Team got 0-2'd first week, I believe, by the Universe. Yep, so one of the tied for first team in the division. Again, not a terrible start, so both these teams kind of looking to get possibly a breakaway week. Everyone, of course, looking for those 2-0 victories, really put themselves up in the standings. So, it's going to be an interesting game to see.
Now, we do have information ahead of time about the draft, but I wouldn't count Monarchs out just yet, just looking at this draft.
We'll get there. We'll get there when we get there.
We'll get there when we get there. The teams are just trying to get ready. It looks like Monarchs are taking a few extra seconds.
No, guys. Penn State does not always play this. I don't know why we were having so many 10 p.m., 10:30 p.m. starts this year, but it just seems to be the trend. We try to start a little bit earlier because I am absolutely toasted after every single one of these streams because they ended in something like half past midnight. But besides that, we are going to get on into draft. Oh, I didn't change the stream title. My apologies. Poggers. Can we get an NA production in chat?
We're starting off with an immediate target ban of Riven. They are terrified of Lychee raids as Riven, apparently.
Strong
Yone ban
doesn't have counters in lane other than like Malphite, so
the counter to Riven is the Riven player. That's the hardest counter to Riven.
You are so right in that statement. Oh my goodness, that is depressing.
Yone auction Soraka bans coming out from Concal's team. They're just all very strong champions right now. I have nothing else really to say about those kinds of bans. It's just all incredibly powerful champions, all deserving of a nerf.
Yeah,
I meant to say ban, but nerf also goes with it.
Yeah, and again, this is not the actual pick order from the champ picks. They have already done drafts, so this has already been predetermined. We're just picking in the actual roles, so do not assume this was the draft strategy of either of these teams, because even looking at it just now, this would be a pretty rough one overall.
Now, this is why I said I wouldn't count Monarch's team out just yet. The Diana Yasuo Wukong topside. It was picked. I don't know if the Wukong was very picked in pro play, but Diana Yasuo I know was, because it's just so insanely powerful if you get those ultimates synergized. And Wukong with his team-wide knockup also isn't a very bad choice for a Yasuo-based team comp.
Absolutely. We got some stuff in chat here as we're just going through the second round of bans here and going to round out the comp before we talk about the teams. Paradox 77, PSU meta. So PSU LCS does normally have its own meta. Now this is a very large rank disparity between players. It is of all ranks for these teams. It's supposed to be balanced around a plat average. So you have diamond players playing with gold, bronze, silver, plat players, as well as there's a few masters littered here and there. So it does depend on the biggest thing in PSU LCS is just comfort picks. Are you comfortable on this champion? Can you play them well? Because that's going to be more of an asset to your team than necessarily going for comp. Now, there is some stuff that does pop up in PSU LCS specifically at a much higher frequency than it probably
Ivern
should.
Players.
Ivern, for one, for some reason. Amumu is really popular, not just because he's meta right now, but even in general. Stuff like Sejuani always comes up really high priority. Shen is very high priority in PSU LCS. Malphite, despite some win rate discrepancies between splits, has been a very high priority pick in these. So these simple execute champions that you can put pretty much anybody on and be relatively useful no matter how the lane goes. All these kind of picks come up in spades during PSU LCS fall split. Morgana, actually one of the other ones, I believe last spring had the highest presence of any champion, despite not really being meta at all. So all too cool, going to be piloting that one down in the bot lane with Concal. But we do have now the two compositions rounded out, top to bottom for Monarchs, being Wukong, Diana, Yasuo, Ashe, Taric. And for Monster Energy team, Litchi Rain on the set, Amumu, Silas, Jhin, and Morgana.
Now, we do have the insider information. We know that Silas was picked last in the draft, even if he was picked third here. So I really do like the Silas pick here, because the entire blue side essentially is just the most powerful ults you can get. Diana ultimate, obviously very strong. Wukong ultimate, incredibly strong. Ashe ultimate is even very strong just for getting picks outside of team fights. And Taric ultimate just turns Silas into an unkillable god. It's a very good counter pick to their team composition. And I do like it just quite a bit, just based on that. Also, I think Silas can... his second E cast can activate a stolen Yasuo R, right?
Sorry.
It is a knockup. I don't know if he
yes,
lands
Abscond
first.
Abduct can activate Stolen Yasuo ultimate if you're fast enough to pull the last breath. It will activate off of the Abscond.
Now we all are
can't
on
get that.
pretty low ping, just considering we're all right next to each other here.
It's all around 26 to 30 ping, unless you're
Yeah.
on a branch campus, in which case, Lord knows.
It could be anything. 0 to 100.
Pretty much.
Even
That's NA servers for you.
And I said, I do like, now he was, instead of Silas, he was hovering Azir as well. And I would have liked to see Azir as well, because Azir has a, like, sustained damage output. He's sort of like an ADC in that regard, in that he just consistently just pumps out damage in team fights. He's really good at taking objectives like that. And I think that red side needs a little bit of that. I think that taking early Barons or taking Dragons quickly is going to be an issue with the Jhin pick, because Jhin is more of an AD burst mage, in my eyes, than an actual AD carry. He pumps out really high amounts of physical damage, but only in short bursts with his fourth shot, or even later in the game, just with every auto attack. But I still think that it counts more as a burst thing. So I would have liked to see the Azir pick, but Silas works as well.
Alright, yeah, Silas I think is perfectly fine. Tons and tons and tons of good ulti steal. Flashbacks to Worlds 2020 with Caps on Silas, stealing Enchanted Crystal Arrow from Ashe in the Gen G series was extremely potent. As well as Taric ulti, extremely good. Yasuo ulti is not the greatest, but Diana and Wukong ult on a Silas is certainly something to be feared. If not for damage, just because of team fight utility, which the one thing we always love seeing in PSU LCS is team fight compositions, and for once we have both teams, not just one, drafting for those all-out objective control and 5v5 action. We're going to have to see. I think both these compositions are very easy to play out in terms of team fights. It's just kind of go press all your buttons and make sure you're on the back line, and you're probably going to win the fight. You do have some pretty nasty wombo potential on the side of Monarchs with the Wukong, Diana, and Yasuo. For those who are unacquainted, what Diana can do as the secondary follow-up engage, given Lord Niter goes in first, is you get a massive Diana totally sucks everybody in. He also uses the last breath, holds everybody in place, does damage himself, and then Diana's second proc of damage comes down on every single member, and there's no way for you to dodge that damage. It is extremely potent, given that you can land it on multiple members, and even for single target burst damage is pretty much just a one-shot if you're not a tank. So, can be very lethal. Again, more setup there with the Ashe. Taric is great disengage. Very hard to chase down this composition when you do have to run into the Ashe, into the wind wall of Yasuo. That can mean a lot of your engage potential. So we're going to have to see how Monarchs really wants to play this. Yes, they have the Wombo, but I think Monster Energy definitely has the tools to deal with it.
I think that it all comes down to will Concal's team, is that the Monster Energy drink team? I think it comes down to will they all be in the same location to be hit by that Diana Yasuo combo? Because just based on the way that their team looks, they all sort of want to be in different positions. Zet wants to grab their frontliner, which is going to probably be Wukong in this scenario, dive him into the back line. Amumu's going to be God knows where, depending on when he hits his Q, most likely in the middle of their team. Sylas wants to be on the flank, and then Jhin and Morgana are the only ones that are really going to be clustered up together. I think that it's going to be difficult to find a time for the Diana Yasuo combo to work. I think that if it does hit, it's a one-team fight. I think that it's very difficult to lose if you hit that. But it all comes down to positioning, as always.
Positioning and execution, and again, both these teams I don't think have the most difficult team fight executions. The question is more going to come down to leads begotten through laning and early macro play. That's really what we're looking at to decide how these team fights are going to start to go, at least early on. Definitely have some strong bot lane potential. I think especially from Concal and Altucool going to be certainly the more potent of the two. Yes, Ashe does have a good wave clear and good push potential with the volley, but not necessarily something that's going to be able to or really deal with the all-in potential of Morgana Jhin, even with the Taric there. Taric, generally speaking, into ranged matchups is just absolutely appallingly abysmal. You just don't do anything, and that's the power of Set when you walk up level 1.
Set level 1.
Yeah, Wukong, I'm sorry, buddy. Your level 1 is, I don't know if he started the E or not. I think he did, but even so,
he did
yeah,
start E, yes.
not as good as Set's. That's a rough matchup trade, so good health advantage here for Lich Rain already in the 1v1.
It does look like both junglers are going to be doing a standard 5 camp. Amumu, I don't know yet, but it does look like they're both
should
going
be
to be 5
camp into Crab into full clear probably. Just finish the Krugs and reset. I would be assumed both these junglers, Diana especially as the game goes on, gonna have an absurdly fast clear, even after the nerfs.
Yeah, she definitely scales a lot better. The nerfs are more targeted towards her early game. But Amumu is known as the hyper farm tank.
W does offer a lot of clear speed potential, lots of health, lots of regeneration available to him in the jungle, just because jungle nowadays, it's kind of hard to not be healthy clearing it. There's only a few champions that still have that problem, but either event, top 2v2 here, probably going to go the way of Monster Energy if that top crab is contestable. Yes, mid does have priority, but this set is absolutely curbing the top lane matchup, so Crab gonna be certainly a hard-found contest for blue unless they just look for the gank mid.
Looks like a gank mid lane.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's the angle. Gank top lane as well, without TP. Lichy does just decide to back off. Should be perfectly fine. Diana does not have any way to really CC set at this point, so is totally okay. And Amumu just gonna transition down to bot crab. Not a move I dislike.
Yeah, I think handshaking crab is definitely the way to go with the Amumu here. I think without Set being able to help, I think he was still running away from the gank. You just want to...
Great win wall by Lucas. Still very nice trade with the level advantage onto Krusty Pizza. But
regank coming out from the Amumu.
Yep, no win wall available. Can't immune the bandage toss, and that is some nice lollipopping mechanics there. Riot Games finds the second one as well. Thunderbuck blocked by Killax. The flash to follow will grab him the trade kill onto Set. Amumu not going to have too much damage to really deal with that one, as Rain looking for the Haymaker top to do the trade. Does end up being a 1-for-1. Either way, though, first blood onto the Amumu. Certainly what you like to see. However, I think that gold much more valuable on Diana for the side of Monarchs.
Now, the Amumu did take Conqueror. He could be going for the AP, at least in the first few items.
The Riftmaker build, I believe it is now.
Yeah. Start Riftmaker and then move to tank items. And he does put out quite a bit of damage with that. It's very easy to stack Conquer with 2 Qs, especially in a team fight where if you toss out a Q, you're basically guaranteed to land it.
Yeah, it's almost like a Mordekaiser build you end up going. Like a Drain Bruiser, in a way.
Oh, yeah, he is still... he's more powerful early than you would expect. He's still a Amumu early game, but it's not very weak. Trade in the mid lane. It looks like Diana might be coming.
Ooh, Lord Rider in some trouble here. Good prediction there with the haymaker, forces the flash out of top side. Very nicely played by Lichy Rain.
I don't think that Diana has a lot of gank angles in the mid or top lane, at least until level 6. I think that just the Set and Sylas can escape from ganks with no CC so easily. Set by just walking away and tanking the damage, and Sylas with his Abscond Abduct.
Yeah, Abscond Abduct very powerful. We have Dangles now. Mid lane is going fairly well for Lucas. Up in the 9 CS. The Crab Bite actually ended up advantaging him in wave state. Large wave that Krusty lost mid and then double stacked for Lucas as he returned from base. So Yasuo did end up getting the better end of that part of the deal and should be picking up a lot more of a lead here as this next wave gets pushed in by Sylas. As for the jungle matchup, pretty much even. The only real done lane here is top, as Lichy Rain is just absolutely throttling Lord Niter for this point in the game. Now he's taking a little bit of bad trade here, but again, Haymaker is a really cool ability.
And he is level 6 now, so he does have that kill threat onto Wukong once his cooldowns come back.
Has the Showstopper, as well as the insane health regen that Set is want to have, as I fix that glitch.
If we look at
finds the Showstopper. The Haymaker doesn't find the kill just yet. Good use of the W by Lord Niter to get away. And now we are finally maybe fixed for cast stream.
Alright. If you could pull up items, I'm not sure exactly what's happening in the technical difficulties there. Amumu does have Bomby Cinder. Oh, okay. Amumu does have Bomby Cinder, which means that he's not going the Riftmaker first build. He's probably going to be going for Sunfire, if I had to guess. He doesn't need the engage of Chem Tank or the sticking power from Frostfire. Bot lane is just going very well for Monster Energy Team. Morgana just stifles every engage melee champion. It's so hard to play with the Morgana threat of a black shield, threat of a dark
flame. Just has a very hard time to anything ranged. Does not provide a lot of heal or he does provide a lot of healing, but not necessarily sustained healing. Top lane, which remain possibly in trouble. Here has the Haymaker and the pullback face breaker, and that will be enough to secure the kill. So low health bar be danged. It is a Set. That's gonna be solo kill top lane.
Now, they have just had constant priority bot lane. I think Amumu could do Drake right now. Diana has shown topside. He has priority bot lane. And while Yasuo is looking to roam, Sylas should be able to clear wave decently quickly. It looks like something might be going around bot side. Ooh, Sylas versus Yasuo. Nothing.
Yeah, it's just a matchup mid. It's fine.
It's a matchup.
I don't think we're gonna see too much outside of jungle intervention in that lane.
Yeah.
Sylas has the sustain in trades with the Kingslayer, and then Lucas should have the easier time with waves, CS, and possible all-in. So just gonna be kind of that game of as long as Sylas doesn't use the ability to fairly wrong, should be good to go.
Dark Binder coming out from Morgana.
Yeah, Kid Cool's fine. Shouldn't be a problem for him.
Not really much going on. It's more of a farm game, with top lane being the one fighting heavy lane.
Ooh, nice pullback. Got
Very
both.
strong.
Yeah, that's the one cool thing you do with the Set Wukong matchup is you can actually pull in based off of Wukong's clone and get to stun off and just random fights. So even in a 1v1 in the river, Set can still actually get the stun off of Facebreaker if he plays it right. Kind of like that, except actually gets in his Krusty, taking a pretty poor trade here. Does get the Kingslayer. Good dodge on the Q as well to keep the HP around, but it will seem like it's going to be the side of Monster Energy Team that I thought they were going for Dragon, but no, it's actually the gank angle mid lane. 3 men strong, the ulti, the root comes through the wind wall, much too late, the stun comes through, Mikey Milk flashes over the wall to secure, and that is...
That's a real play safe.
There's a lot of missing pigs on your bot lane if you're Lucas. That is unfortunate. Kulux finds the stun from the ultimate. Good heal out. All too cool. Grabs the root. Dark Binding going to keep him perfectly safe for now. Stolen away. Krusty Pizza could find a massive ulti here on the 2 members. Terror ulti coming out, but will it be enough to save anybody for now? Yes, comes through. Stun's going to come around as well, but Kid still alive as well as Drummer. Drummer finally falls as Mikey Milk comes through. Krusty Pizza very low. The Kingslayer, though, keeps him so darn healthy. Comes back with the Absconder Duck. Mikey Milk grabs another kill, and that is 3 counted. 4 for 1. Or no, 4 for none.
4 for none and a dragon.
For the side of Monster Energy, given the mid lane play before. And that is a massive play to swing the game, almost 3k gold into Monster's favor.
Now, just based on the dragons that we've seen so far, it's a Cloud Dragon that they just took. Infernal Dragon is coming up next, which means that it's either Mountain Soul or Ocean Soul, both of which are just so incredibly powerful for either team, really. I think that Mountain Soul and Ocean Soul definitely benefit Concal, Monster Energy team, a lot more. I
yeah,
think
with
that,
the set with the Amumu especially.
Yeah, I think that they'll just have a truly absurd amount of sustain with Silas, Set, Ocean Dragon, or a truly absurd amount. Set's just such a balanced character. An absurd amount of
Yeah,
defense.
this matchup not really helping as Killex gonna try to get up here. Lord Knight flashing forward, finds the knockup. It is 3 here, but the Facebreaker still available. Lichy Rain looks for the Showstopper, finds the Facebreaker 3. He's gonna get a trade kill at the very least. Now Killex going very low, but the Lucas has the damage, and it will be the 1-for-1. Either way, 1-for-1 in the 1v3. Lichy Rain, you take those every day of the week.
Now, Lucas did pick up an early Executioner's Calling, very strong into Silas, obviously, but it did help with the set there. Couldn't heal as effectively off his passive over Gore Drinker. Sorry. Looks like Red Team might be able to take Rift Herald here. Diana did have to recall after that set just knocked her teeth in.
Yep, and Lucas looking for the 1v1. Just not gonna take the last breath into that one. It's a full health Silas, not necessarily what you want to be looking at. Dark Binding here in the bot lane, not finding anything. Drummer does find an arrow. The sun's going to Alticool, who's in trouble. The ult's not going to be enough, and it might be the misbegotten 2v2 as Drummer getting the heals. Not enough. Those Concal does have that full shot, and that will be enough damage to take down the enemy AD carry. Look for the support, though. Does he realize the other two are coming? Yes. He will back off for now. And that will be a 1-for-1. Benefit over to Monster as the kill goes on to the Jhin.
Now, Diana did show bot lane. I think Amumu recognizes this, and he's going for the Rift Herald now. Yeah, it does look like he's going for that. Early Rift Herald's pretty good here. They could use it to try to knock down the top or mid lane towers if they get a successful dive off.
Still 2 minutes for plating. I think that's what we're going to be more looking at with the first Herald. If we can get this Herald off in the next minute and a half while plating's up, I'd like to see it just do top sec. I feel like they can overforce that whenever. Get the gold from plating and then possibly use that pressure for second Herald to actually break a tower. Would love to see more gold injection into this set, into the Silas, really start getting those lanes forward. Top lane, I think more of where you're looking to put it. We'll have to see what that final decision is here from Mikey Milk, as he will pick up the Herald. He's got a minute left before plates fall, so just kind of needs to run to a lane and spot down if he wants that extra gold injection.
Drake isn't up for what, a minute and a half?
2 minutes. So he's not gonna be able to use it to pressure. He could save it to pressure Drake as well. It's just preferably with first Herald, if you're not using it to get plates, it's kind of just a waste of your time clearing.
Yeah, it's not
Teleport play mid though here. Collect in. Mr. Crescent Pizza moving up for now. The teleport actually canceled. Literally not able to get it off. Lord Knight does burn the Cyclone to be able to cancel that. Either way, that means no Riptail's play going to be coming in the mid lane. A flash expended, but well worth from Lucas as he grabs a kill. Meanwhile, Showstopper in the top lane. Literally going for the dive. Finds the haymaker.
So
that is the solo kill dive.
Solo Bolo in the top lane.
Yep, Killax wants to look for it, has the E in, which Rain can fight this for now, but is a red buff, so taking a lot of damage. Has Facebreaker, finds the haymaker, but it's E'd behind, still the flash, and Lichy Rain finds another one, but can he make it number 3? Lucas
He's regenning from red buff
looking,
right now.
Yep,
regen
is insane. The red buff doing a ton of work. Lucas might have realized he picked the wrong fight. It's just a 3rd kill. They just keep coming in. The 1v1v1v1 for the side of Lichy Rain, and he takes it all. I mean, ooh, arrow. And a gank. Mikey Milk finds one stun.
Lollipop.
Good stun back as, oh, the burst damage from Concal, not barely enough. As with the 4-shot has no more ammunition to expand. Mikey Milk trying to kite away as the take comes through. But Drummer stepped up too far and he's taken out. And now here comes the curtain call, but will it be curtains for Kid Cool? Hits by 2, 3rd one misses, flashes away. Mikey Milk going for the site, but it's not the good line for Concal. Mikey Milk though does find the bandage toss. Gonna give this one over here. The grenade to secure. And Concal on a rampage as Lichy Rain feeling himself right now, pushing up 1v2 in the enemy jungle. not a fear in the world, and he's gonna find 2 already. Galax and Zodak, ulti comes through, not gonna be taking the knockup right now. Crusty Pizza coming through as well. There's the face breaker, last breath uses finally. Haymaker very late as the healing finally comes through off the Gore Trigger. Showstopper brings back, but it is the clone that he ults, not the actual person. Now it's the shutdown on the Kiloax. 750 gold bounty already turned over. Crusty Pizza now stuck in the 2v1, finds one with the Scott Duck, looking for Lord Knight, looking for this Wukong. No part 2 available, finds it. Crusty Pizza looking for it, but the flash isn't gonna matter as Drummer picks up the kill off of mid lane Roam.
Now, while that was all happening topside, Jin was very quietly botside, giving himself such an insane gold advantage. He picks up solo second tower. He shared gold for the first tower with Amumu because he put down that Rift Herald. This is going very well for Monster Energy team. That original set play before everyone in the world decided to fight each other, I was going to say that it reminded me of an action movie where everyone walks in one by one against a protagonist, which Lychee Rain was in that scenario. That was about a minute and a half of uninterrupted fighting there. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, Mikey Milk finds a stun here. And yeah, the damage is there. Luca has no chance. Checkers there, not going to do too much. Crusty Pizza as well, teleporting in. It's a little bit of take all. Lord Niter packing on the ward. Didn't think Lychee Rain would find him. The face breaker, though, going to make a difference. Showstopper, it has the damage. The Gore Drinker will just finish off the kill. And it is top lane kingdom to the side of Lychee Rain. And now you're looking at 16 minutes, an 8,000 gold lead for Monster Energy team, and this team full of monsters right now. 4-0 on the Jin, 3-0 for Mikey Milk, 7-2 on Lychee Rain. Actually able to walk up 1v3 with confidence at this point in the game, and it's going to be a hard one for Monarch to really be able to fight this one out.
Now, looking at the individual gold advantages, Lychee Rain is over 4,000 gold ahead of Wukong. That's about an item and a half. Just based on top lane item costs. Amumu is 1,000 gold ahead of Kiloax over there. Mid lane is pretty evenly matched. They have almost exactly the same amount of gold. I think they're 4 gold off. And Jin, with that very quiet gold advantage that I mentioned, is 2,500 gold up on Drummer.
Yes, quite impressive indeed, and I mean, it shows in the gold differential. They have the Dragon as well as full objective control. It has been a very cleanly played game so far from the side of Monster Energy team. Would also like to point out some item completion stuff. Now, the Executioner, while being a very good buy for Lucas early game for trading, has certainly delayed his abilities. He is the only member besides Lord Niter left on the side of Monster Energy who does not have a Mythic. That's not a good sign when you're looking at a Mythic Silas, a almost 2-item set, who might be getting a third one as Lord Niter. Oh, very well done, sir. Very good. The stealth wards save lives, people.
Now that item difference is even more seen on the Yasuo than most champions because Yasuo spikes so hard at 2 items with that 100% crit chance. And delaying that 100% critical chance is just... It feels really bad to say the least.
Mikey Milk finds a Checker's arrow not going anywhere close. Crowning's comment back again as the Checker ulti coming through is going to buy a lot of time for these champions. And Showstopper not really going to do anything but reposition instead as Kiloax grabs one, going to ulti cool. Mikey Milk now trying to fight against Diana alone, but he has plenty of damage with Sunfire. Lychee Rain tanking, has Sterix, is just so darn fed. The flash as well, so he can't be ulted by the Yasuo. Now it's Lord Niter versus the world, and he has nothing left to stand on. It's a clean ace for the side of Monster Energy team, only losing all 2 gold to the enemy jungle. That's definitely going to be at least the mid lane inhibitor turret. Actually, I hope they actually don't take the inhibitor because not before 20 minutes, inhibitor takes pretty much not going to do much of anything but give your opposing team gold. So it should just be the inhibitor turret here and the back off for Monster Energy if they want to go for the macro 5 head, and that will be what they do. So Monster team going to continue to play this one cleanly.
They are picking up that second Rift Herald just before Baron spawns in. They had about 20 seconds left before it would have despawned. And it looks like everyone's backing, maybe to prepare for the upcoming Drake. That will be third Drake towards Monster Energy team.
Now, if you're on the side of Monarch, you have this really scary problem that ends up coming around, where you're waiting on yet some item spikes. Yeah, you just got first item spikes on Wukong and Yasuo, but it's not really going to be enough at this point to really make a difference in team fights. So you're just kind of waiting on some of these champions like Yasuo to get that 100% crit, like Wukong to get some tank items built in, so like Asterix or Thornmail, something to give him some survivability in fights. Ashe really looking for that Wit's End or Gwynsu's, depending on what she wants to go second, or if she's going the full crit build. Can just go with something like the Runon's Hurricane, but either way, a lot of these 2-item spike champions really just kind of waiting around. It isn't Soul Drake, so I don't expect Monarchs to contest. But if you don't contest this, the problem is that they're going to get this Mountain Drake. Monster has a lead where they can then immediately rotate to the Baron, grab the 22-minute Baron, walk down mid, and they have Baron plus Herald. And they know they win team fights even in the enemy base, so they might just try to... I mean, there's a world where Monster might just try to force the end here in the next 4 minutes of the game with a Rift Herald plus Baron push.
I think they should just walk to Baron right now, know that they're so much stronger than the enemy team that they can just turn off the Baron and immediately get them. And it's either they take Baron for free with the enemy team not contesting.
Looks like they just want to go for the kill onto Lucas. First bandage toss going wide. Lucas does find the double knock-up. Here comes Kilowhack. Has a good ulti on 2. Krusty Pizza's already dead. Now the damage might just be gone as Mikey Milk overextended. Kid Cool flashing in. Doesn't find the stun. Good block shot by Alto Cool as the Enchanted Crystal Arrow once again flies wide. And that's a massive pick for the side of Monarchs. Big shutdown gold over to one of their carry. Diana, thank you. I didn't have chat up, so I didn't see who got it exactly. Lord Knight is still absolutely freaking doomed. 3 levels down.
3 levels down, 9 kills.
I mean, that is a big damper. Yeah, they can still easily push for Baron here, but the pick just, I think, stalling out more than they needed to.
They're going for the 4-man Baron.
This is a real... I don't like
it's
this.
A very bold
slow
play.
Baron.
Like I said, they don't have that consistent damage that they would have had with PSU because Jhin, not a very powerful early character.
They're going to look for the fight, as they should. Lucci Rain going for the turn immediately, finds the engage with the Showstopper, finds a good face breaker under 2. Look back, trying to get out, but Lucci Rain has the kill already. Kid Cool had the ultimate available, didn't think he needed to pop it, but now he's 1v3. Can Lucci Rain survive? Doesn't have the Haymaker up yet again. Has Derek though. That might be another shield spot. Here comes the Derek ulti. There's the last breath, but doesn't do anything as the enemy team is just deleted. Kong Tao goes dominating Drummer, not long for this world. Flash forward, finds the Everfrost, finds the Abscond Abduct, and Krusty Pizza gets a Vengeance kill. 4 for nothing, plus the Baron. They have the Herald. This should just be the end. This probably is just the end of the game. Here you are up a massive 15,000 gold at 22 minutes. An absolute stomp of a game. They do still have to do this final push here, but they have a Herald. They have a Baroned up minion wave. Can they make it work? Cool, no ulti is there. Comes the engage with the Cyclone. There's the Diana ulti, but the stun is responded on by a Mumu, and there's just no damage on to be had. The wallet is just too heavy. Shelly goes down before she can get the second turret. You got double stack Baroned up wave now to follow up. One Nexus turret still standing, but Kilowhack is down. Cyclone not available. Tarek not up and available. Mike Milko's gonna go for the engage on Luke as the last standing bastion of hope. He's stunned up, taken out. Lifty Rain dominating the KDA padding, coming through the double kill. Nexus, all that remains in Monster's way, and it falls without a fight. GG, well played to Monster. And that is proven who should be number 6 from the 1-30 standpoint, I think, off that.
Very well played by Monster Energy. Anytime they had a lead, they just pushed it set, taking that 1v1v1. I think that was probably the turning point of the game, where 3 people walked into 1 top laner, still lost.
Yeah, the one they set it up just perfectly set. He's the arena champion of the gladiator, so they're just giving him individual fights to really prove himself. You know, it's like going up the ladder in Mortal Kombat or something.
Yeah. Each person that he has to fight keeps getting more powerful. But took them all on, survived, came out 900 gold richer. Hard to argue with that.
Came out 900 gold richer. Yeah, I mean we have a lore-friendly top lane coming through there. Lore-friendly top lane.
We have, and then we have we have Billionaire Jin in the bot lane. I can't stress enough. That second tower, the 550 gold, right? Did just buff the second
Yep.
gold, second tower gold from that. It's just so strong on every AD carry because they scale off of gold, and that's just 2 free kills worth essentially of gold. Uh, it's hard to come back from that. It's very, very difficult to come back from that for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. It is definitely a struggle of a game for Monarchs. Lanes didn't go well. Mid lane was maybe the only place you really saw any advantage being gained by Lucas, and even that was kind of cut short by, albeit very good plays by the side of Monster or Rome up there. The 4-man gank mid is always, I mean
I was expecting the
that's
draft, and they kept going.
you sit back as Lucas there and you're like, come on, man, give me a break already. So I mean, definitely a rough game for Monarchs. We're gonna have to see. We've seen teams come back from first game losses like this. I mean, yeah, it is a stomp of a game, but again, sometimes it just snowballs out of your control, and that's normally when you see those 15,000 gold leads at 20 minutes. One team just gets stomped in lane. It's one of it's what we call the scrim games, where you just FF, you say go next, remake.
Yeah.
We'll try it again next time around. So
They got to get that mental reset down now between the games.
yeah, it
Going
depends.
into the next game
It is
after
a
this.
mental
So
thing for sure.
yeah.
It is definitely a mental thing to come back from a loss like that. Like I said, it has not been the most uncommon thing in PSU LCS, but we're gonna have to see if Monarchs are up to the task. I mean, definitely not a lost cause. I don't necessarily think the draft was at all a problem. Actually,
No, I think it was
I think the
reasonably
draft
fine.
was perfectly fine. I mean, we saw it work almost extremely well, and a lot of those, especially the base fight at the end. If you aren't, almost 20,000 gold behind. Yeah, Tarek a bit sus. Fair. It's bad pick for the lane, I think. It's not necessarily a bad
It's
pick for the
yeah.
team comp. So, yeah,
They
and
definitely have a.
that would be something to maybe change, but I'm not going to attribute the Tarek pick to the overall failure of 15,000 gold at 20 minutes. There's a lot that has to go wrong more than one pick in that scenario. So,
It was just difficult for bot lane.
I don't think you can chalk this one up to draft, which I think
Yeah.
when you're looking on Monarch's side is definitely the harder angle. As
It was difficult for.
it's easy to just go and like, we just got drafted, guys. We'll go in the next game. That's a real easy like mental pass off that you can do. But
Yeah.
when you think you have a fairly good composition and you only have like one or two things you'd want to change, for instance, the Tarek, not good into Morgana, not good into any range bot laner, really. For
Yeah.
support, when that's the only thing you're looking at, is definitely a harder pill to swallow that you just got diffed.
I think that melee supports are definitely more of a weak side thing. I think that they have to draft a very strong. Well, melee
I
into
don't know if I
range.
consider Leona
Melee into range.
a weak
Okay,
side champion. I don't know
Leona's
if I
not a real
consider
champion.
Nautilus a weak
I'm talking
side
about
champion.
like I was thinking more Braum. I was thinking more Tarek. I was thinking people who just get poked out easily.
Yeah.
Listen,
I was
Leona.
say, I would not. Don't go calling melee. I know a few.
I think Wardens. That's a better thing to say than melee characters bot lane. I think that Warden characters, not Leona, not Nautilus, but even Blitzcrank, if the range character positions appropriately, I think he can easily get poked out bot lane. I think that you have to draft a strong top laner if you're drafting a Warden into a ranged bot laner.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a certain composition or an AD carry that complements it well. Blitz, yeah, as one. Thank you. Next to radio, that's a fine pick here. Also just having a different AD carry. Sometimes works out. Varus is one of those carries. It's like super weird how he works, where he can take a Braum and actually make use of it into ranged matchups. It's very possible. Not necessarily preferable, but possible.
Varus is a weird pick in general.
Varus is a weird
pick. He's something.
Um,
Draft is starting. You all
yeah.
can't see it. That's for us to see and for
We're
you
gonna
all
be
to
taking
find
a
out.
break here in a minute as soon as I update graphics. But yeah, definitely gonna look to see some changes, of course. In the draft for game 2, there's always changes that you can make, always improvements to be done. But I don't think anything that should be super over focused for this game. It's definitely just hey guys, we got gapped pretty hard. Maybe we don't walk 1v1v1 to set, who's 3-0.
Maybe we ban set first. Maybe first ban set and then mental reset, and then we're all good.
Yeah, you could just ban the set and make it a little bit more of an even game. There's plenty of stuff that you can do. But I mean, there's adaptations. That's why we do 2 games, is you have that adaptation. That's why when playoffs is so exciting when you get to the best of 3s, where you do have draft becomes a major part of the series because it does have adaptation, especially finals. Like finals is always fun when you get to see the best of five go down and you get to see how stuff changes throughout it. We don't necessarily have to worry about that much in basically what is essentially two best of ones because there's no real series to be had, but certainly can be interesting. And again, Monarchs definitely would not count them out yet. We've seen just this season already teams come back from games like that in game one, so still could be a very big battle game too. We're just gonna have to see how it falls. But until then, we're gonna take a quick break here. Get give Cast a break, get some drinks.
Mental reset for
Yeah, mental
ourselves.
reset. Let this pro draft let the pro draft play out, and then we will be back to give you guys some more League of Legends content here in just a few minutes. All right, hello guys, welcome back. Thank you for taking a break with us in the pause here. We have finished the third-party drafting, and we are into regular game draft, which isn't working because my thing didn't upgrade. There we go. Now we're into regular game draft. So far so good. We got Yone, we got Akshan ban, just banning out those AD
Same thing
mids
as
for
last time.
Monarch. Amumu taking the bench, not dealing with that oppressive, to say the least, jungler once he gets going if he's not punished in the early game. Soraka banned away by
Let's see if the set ban comes
Monster.
through. It does not.
Fun fact, we are
I
into the
wonder.
future. It doesn't. It's
I,
Colin Cowell's famed Ezreal.
I wonder who their top laner will pick. Oh, it's Set.
Yeah, note
Again.
set was B1. Set was B1. So Set was B1 and Fiora was the R1 counter pick. We have a lot of things to talk about once this draft concludes. I'm gonna be real.
There's a lot of things
This is
that
a
happened
this is a
here.
very big unpack. Once we know that not all of it is good, unfortunately.
Olaf was the B5 pick. He was the last one to pick on the blue team, and it was a good pick just from what is it, Monster Energy team on the red side now? No.
No, Monster Energy.
Monster Energy team's on the yeah.
They are blue. They are blue.
Yes.
Dabu dee dabu
Uh,
die.
Well, Monarchs on the red side. Yeah, Monarchs, mid, bot, and support. I like the Olafin too. I mean, you'll see why. It's just CC, but I do like Olaf as that counter pick. I think he stands up to Trundle pretty well. I don't know if he wins the 1v1 early on, but he can put up a decent fight in 2v2s, and he can run away if necessary, which not every jungler can do into Trundle.
Yeah, definitely something to look for here. I mean, Malzahar definitely a safe mid pick. Just overall, you play lane, you don't really necessarily hard win it. You're just gonna be surviving. I think Azir actually does have a fairly decent matchup into Malzahar. Has a lot to work with, so should be advantage over to Krusty. I think for that one. A little bit different than game one, where the Silas kind of has to take a backseat without jungle or support or entire bot lane pressure in mid lane. So that's going to be a little bit interesting to play out. And yeah, we're just going even harder into the combos bot lane for Monsters. They're going to take the Caitlyn Morgana.
That's the classic.
The classic.
Yeah,
it's classic.
Very rough to play into that if Morgana ever hits a Dark Binding, but Ashe has pretty decent range, and Sona obviously is not a step-up support. So I don't know how many kills in lane that Caitlyn Morgana will be managing to get, but it does scale pretty well even, just because of that insane Dark Binding Caitlyn trap combo. It's just so powerful.
Yeah, it is entirely extremely potent, like to a ridiculous degree. I'm not sure if Sona's really the pick into it. Yeah, you do have a lot of poke pressure. Yeah, you do have a lot of pressure with damage. Even into Morgana, the Black Shield really doesn't do too much, except for nullify the ultimate. But
Sona was picked before Morgana Caitlyn.
Yeah. Sona was picked early on, so we're going to have to see. It might just be comfort for Kid Cool. I did not have the OP.GGs up for this game, so could be comfort. Not really sure. We're going to have to find out. Would like to see it be comfort for this team, because right now we do have, as we were talking about before we went live for cast, a very interesting end of draft here for the side of Monarchs.
I'd like to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I have a lot of, I have many opinions on this draft. So one thing that, as I've said time and time before, and we'll say time and time again, it's PSU LCS, people. Simple, sweet, stupid. That is the nicest team composition you can play, because it's going to give you, you don't have to focus on the mechanics as much. You don't have to focus on super complicated positioning or macro decisions. You can say, all right, Dragon's up in a minute 30. Let's get our resets off by a minute. Reset. Thank you, YouTube, for that commercial. And go from there. So what I would like to, that's what I like to see. That's the composition we generally see better successes on. Of course, you can win with more complicated compositions, but that is a, like, you have to be very confident in your skills as a team to pull them off, or have a player, probably one of the more higher elo players that has maybe competitive experience, who can shot call, like, hey, you need to be this lane now, go do this, and kind of like micro the team. That definitely has happened in the past. And the composition that we saw Monarchs after what was just a game one stomp on the floor, if we're going to be just entirely honest, drafting a much more, I think, difficult to execute on comp this time around. They're kind of set up for a 1-3-1. style into the mid to late game where you never want to have Fiora group ever. You want to have this champion in the sideline taking turrets, taking waves, just continuing to put pressure on the sideline. You also don't really want Trundle as a 1-4. You'd rather have him in the sideline as well. He's fine if you do want to do the 1-4, but 1-3-1 probably preferred for this team. Ashe, Sona, Malzahar, definitely not the worst combo you can have as a 3-piece. You do have a lot of wave push. You do have safety with the Sona ulti, with the Ashe ulti. The kite back is very, very effective from these champions, but it's not necessarily undiveable. You have an Olaf who can run through CC on the enemy team. You have a Set who can flash Showstopper into Facebreaker, into Haymaker, and really just make your day as the team initiating. You have follow-up from Caitlyn, you have follow-up from Morgana that can be really oppressive as well as non-committal engage. So this is much more difficult to execute on. You're not going to be very potent in the 5v5. Yes, Fiora can be strong, but it's not going to be that strong. And then compositions like this, generally speaking, rely on Lichy Rain and Krusty Pizza coming out of lane significantly disadvantaged. Yes, as the game goes on, Lord Niter will do better and better into Lichy Rain. That's just the nature of Fiora. That's the nature of the champion. But if Lichy Rain has a similar game to what we saw in Game 1, where he just absolutely pub stomps laning phase, Fiora is not going to be a problem for this team to deal with. You just put Lichy Rain in the side lane. Lichy Rain will win the side lane against Fiora, and that will be the end of it. So there is some emphasis that these champions actually have to perform in lane, because Azir as well has a ton of wave clear, has actually a fairly good side lane, all things said and done, for a mage.
Trundle does not win the side lane into Azir. It's very difficult for Trundle to get onto Azir because Azir has his ultimate, he has Emperor's Divide, he has the dash away, he has a slow also on his Q, I'm pretty sure. It's very difficult for Trundle to get on him, so all they need to do is stick Azir in the side lane, wait for Trundle or Fiora to come to him, and then just make plays elsewhere on the map, because it'll be so disadvantaged in that Azir side lane. I think the burden to lose is on Monster Energy team. I think that their team comp is so much simpler, so much more effective. All they need to do is not lose the early game.
Not lose the early game super hard. I think you could actually have a deficit on this team and it'd still be fine. You have late game scaling. Caitlyn is the weird scaling champion on this team, where you have that really, really strong early game. It dips off kind of in the mid game around the 2 to 3 item, and then once you get 3.5, 4 items, you just spike really, really hard, absurdly hard.
Like it's going for the early invade. Now Caitlyn is going for the lethality build. You can tell because she has a Dark Harvest rune. I think
it's variable, but Dark Harvest is definitely what you want to go this game. Or not Dark Harvest, sorry, lethality.
Yeah, I think generally she will be going lethality here. They have 4 squishies, if you count Fiora as a squishy. I wouldn't really call it that. I'd say 3.5 squishies, 3.5 men.
That actually is a pretty important back cancel there by Malzahar. I think Mikey Dope wanted to go for the sweeper to get some early ganks off, so the back cancel legitimately going to be effect. They do have vision. Good by Monarchs to get vision here on the red buff, so they are going to know that Olaf is rotating back around. They have pings on that. Azir, Krusty Pizza going on and make sure there wasn't an invade on the counter side of things. So we are going to get both junglers once again starting same side. Probably going to see 2 full clears. Both these champions do have fine clear speeds.
I don't think Trundle would go for a full clear exactly. I want to see the Trundle.
Lichy Rain has his ignite this lane phase, and he has the level 1 angle. Good vital though by Lord Niter. Might win him the trade as he might get both stocks. Lichy Rain though doing well to not get a proc. Finally, proc comes out. The ignite's down. The Facebreaker lands. The flash. Oh no, Lichy Rain barely doesn't get the kill and just barely lives. Now Lord Niter should be able to TP back to lane, and Lichy Rain definitely gonna be in a much tougher position if he can't push this in very quickly. So all in all, Lord Niter does trade flash for flash, but might actually be the advantage, save a little bit of XP difference, as we'll be able to just teleport back to this lane and be relatively okay, all things considered.
That is the issue with taking Ignite top lane. If you don't get a kill with it, the enemy laner is just so advantaged with that TP back. You'll be on... you can see Lichy Rain is on half HP. Fiora just farms up on the tower.
Set regen definitely makes that less of a problem, but...
Yeah, but it's still a disadvantage that you don't want to be fighting under. Yeah, Trundle is going for the 4 camp clear. he does not take Raptors or Krugs very efficiently at all, while Olaf, it looks, is going for either a 5 or a 6 camp clear. 6 camp, most likely. Does look like he accidentally counter-jungled himself with the Wolves camp still on the map.
Yeah.
Oh no, he just walked past Wolves. Never
He's just
mind.
going for the blue buff
he's going for
romp
the 5
here to the
camp.
5 camp.
I
I think he's just trying to get Crab with as much XP as he can. But should be a pretty good contested situation for Litchi Rain and Mikey Milk. Krusty Pizza also doing fairly well in the mid lane. Yes, Malzahar is pushing the momentum here, though definitely does more target damage this early into the game. Oh, Litchi Rain though, good vital for Lord Niter. Another good vital for Lord Niter as he finds both. Litchi Rain though finds the face breaker into Haymaker once again. Doesn't do that much damage though. As Lord Niter getting a lot of healing procs. Litchi Rain might be forced to recall here, so it's going to be Mikey Milk pathing back towards his bot side once again, just going to go for the Crab trade instead of contesting this top side.
Now he could have sneakily taken that away from Trundle while Trundle was clearing his Krugs very, very slowly. But he
Binding hit. He's cool, in trouble there. Gets the root. Asper in the flash, so no 50 caliber net can come from Concal.
Just barely misses that second Dark Binding. I don't think it would have led to much, but
I don't think you have kill pressure there. Concal doesn't have the mana for another Q, so it doesn't have Dark Harvest up, so it's not really something that's doable. The Crab trade is completed on both sides of the map. Would like to see Mike Mill just go for his Krugs just top lane though. Litchi Rain possibly in trouble here. Has the Haymaker, needs to use it. Lord Niter gonna mute a lot of the damage. The Facebreaker back in, and it's the solo kill for Litchi Rain. Waits out the repost and gets the kill. An assist by the turret. But that is not what you want to see as Fiora goes down even more CS. No teleport this time to save the lane. And this time, no Ignite needed. Litchi Rain finds his mark.
Now, Litchi Rain played that very well. He put Fiora into an unwinnable position. She either had to riposte the Haymaker, because the true damage would have instantly killed her. And then you saw that she did riposte the Haymaker, and then he immediately followed up with the Facebreaker, which brought her into tower aggro range, and she couldn't block it with the riposte because she had just previously used it. It was unwinnable. It was just very well played.
Very well played by Litchi Rain. And now we'll be reaping the benefits, of course. CS gonna be evened out here as Fiora catches this next big wave that's coming in. Litchi Rain did not have the ability to really push that super fast in, but does get the solo kill. So, oh no, Lord Niter. That's what I was looking at the build difference to see what advantage Litchi Rain got out of it, and it is bigger than I could have imagined. As that is a double Doran's Blade Fiora.
That is
R.I.P.
unfortunate.
Ooh, good spell though. Litchi Rain possibly in trouble here. Great vitals for Lord Niter. Does immune one. Has the tick 6. And that is just unfortunate, the timing. Lord Niter tries to pop, but Litchi Rain finds another solo kill. Double Dorans be damned. Just picks that one up. No problemo. Yeah, this is not looking good for Monarch. One of their side lane win cons is not going to be coming up big this game, unfortunately. As bot lane is that's the
lethality Caitlyn.
What do you? Is that you or next to radio that calls it the Dirk diff?
Oh no, that was not me. That's definitely next to radio.
It was one of the color cats made that. Is Litchi Rain possibly dead here to tower? Yeah, just stuck in too long. Kilowatts grabs the slow and kind of just get the random solo kill onto Litchi Rain for the shutdown. Dirk dip is okay. It's breezy. I forgot who said it first because we've used it in a few casts.
Gonna say I do remember watching it. I don't remember ever saying it. Yeah, that Trundle
It was a
very
comp.
strong there.
Next to radio, it was a compliment. If anything, is yeah, another random solo kill in the bottom lane. Cool.
Just
Cool. Yeah,
it's
2+
lethality
K gold,
Caitlyn.
2.5K gold lead. 7 minutes into the game. Lethal Caitlyn and Set getting all the kills, so it's all on carries. Oh, I was just asking if you did the Dirk diff comment next to radio. It was trying to figure out which color caster coined that for
now,
PSU.
Ash does have Hail of Blades. I don't think we mentioned that yet. Is that a new
Yes,
strategy?
that is an
I haven't seen that.
That's an actual thing. It's for really short bursty trades. It's fine. I don't prefer it, but you know, you can do it.
I think here I would have preferred to see the classic lethal tempo Ashe, because I don't think you really win trades into Caitlyn Morgana as Sona Ashe, not without them missing some key spells. Mid lane proving to just be the farm and push lane.
Yeah, it's a Azir Malzahar.
It's Azir Malzahar.
What are you expecting?
Nothing's gonna really happen.
This is like even more farmy than Azir Corki. Like Azir Corki has more like actual action in this lane.
At least Corki has the
package. At least, yeah. But Azir and Corki can actually like try to go in on each other and like burn cooldown. Malzahar has an R button that immunes all types of fun. Speaking of which, possibly looking for now. Yeah, Suppression Silence comes in. Might have the damage as well. There's the Ignite, the shuffle back, looking for the kill. Those towers gonna get it, but it's gonna be a trade 1-for-1. And just for saying how boring this lane is.
Did you just mention how boring the lane was?
Yeah, mutually assured destruction as there's the repost. The Haymaker that does so much damage. Let's your rain. Oh, knocking the Vital as well on from Lord Niter. And yeah, this is a bit doomed.
It's looking like a dive angle for Leech.
Possibly, yeah. No Haymaker. Has the showstopper to get out of tower range. There's the Haymaker to finish it. It's so absolutely over.
Just looking at the item difference, even after Fiora was allowed to get a
even
fast
after Fiora did the biggest sin of
of
itemization that you can in the early game. Let's try though in some trouble. Subjugation is down. The Killax has a lot of extra stats here. Haymaker does do a lot of damage, but Trundle steals your AD as well, my friends. So that's gonna be another kill. Killax doing a good job mitigating as much of this top gold advantage as he can by just continually killing Lich Rain after he overextends following kills. As trap. Has to be careful. There comes the ace in the hole. And that will be another one for Concal in the bank. As Duskblade Caitlyn does quite a bit of damage. Oh my goodness, it's a 9-minute Duskblade.
It's brutal.
It's brutal.
It's just brutal. Now, Trundle, I would like to mention, you were mentioning all the stats that he managed to steal from Set. Just his Q alone provides Trundle with 1,000 gold worth of extra stats. At this point, steals 35 attack damage, takes away 35 attack damage, gives him about 20, which is over 1,000 gold just from auto-attacking, and that's not even counting the free armor, the free magic resistance, and the health that he gets from his ultimate. Yeah, Set is a stat stick, but Trundle is even more
Trundle
of a
is a stat stick that likes to take stat sticks.
Yes.
He's a stat sticks thief.
Yes. If he wasn't such a
Trusty
weird...
might be in trouble here. Lucas might have the ultimate. No, great wall. Push away as Lucas almost falls to a follow-up soldier. That was a matter of inches before Lucas could get down the ultimate.
Now, if Trundle wasn't such a strange pick to round out their comp to put that into the 1-3-1, he would be a genuinely good pick into Set here.
Trundle redistributes stat wealth. Yeah, it's perfect. It's not just communist Trundle. It's Soviet Trundle because he redistributes the stat wealth to himself.
Red Army.
Ooh,
Red Army Trundle.
Going for the dive here. Has a showstopper. Haymaker, they're not available, so this is all on Olaf to finish off. This is the axe, though. That's a lot of stacked turret damage, and that's going to be the trade back kill over to Lord Niter. Oh, the dive is botched.
I still can't say that it was worth it for Lord Niter there. I think that
he still loses so much more, but
yeah,
the dive was certainly botched by the side of Monster Energy. Mikey Milk, I think, tanked that way too long. Yeah, missed his axe pretty terribly. And Concal picking up his 6th plate as the ace in the hole, looking for it. Good flash behind Lucas. Lucas like, all right, I guess I'll just lose half my HP. This is fine.
Now the cooldown on that Caitlyn ultimate is just over a minute, very short.
Lethality gives you CDR, by the way.
Yeah, and that's one of the benefits of playing Caitlyn. It's like Nidalee and Ezreal in the way that they can't walk up before an objective very safely, just because Caitlyn ult isn't an execute. It does the same damage no matter what your health value is at. So she uses it before the fight just to chunk down any wayward member of their team.
Yep, Crispy is totally fine here. The pillars just ward him on the tower as Caitlyn. 8 plates secured, or no, 9 plates. Each turn has 5 plates, so yeah, 9 plates secured. Not totally full plates, but still. Oh my!
What in the world?
Oh my goodness, Concal. We've been talking about Litchi Rain and top lane, but apparently it's Concal on the bottom lane who does the damage. Holy moly, Litchi Rain though. Gonna be talking about him some more as he looks for the 1v1 against the Grand Duelist. Haymaker not gonna find anything, so the Ignite just kind of burned for naught.
That was well played by Lord Niter, but the item diff, the level diff is just too strong
The
right now.
8,000 gold difference at 12 minutes is a little bit strong, but it is going to be the 3-man onto Litchi Rain, and that is a Malzahar with an ultimate ability. Player going to do some slowing. Lucas looking for the ulti. Chad Arrow not going to find his marks yet, but it's not really going to matter. Discretion comes through it. Yeah, Lucas picks up an easy kill. And Litchi Rain, I think he's strong. He can 1v1 Lord Niter all day, but he is just not really playing the map very well here. Overextending a lot very, very much. Giving over a lot of gold here, especially to this Trundle. Now getting Lucas back in the game, who might be one of the only people who can deny him later on. Not something you really want to see, even with the gold lead. Would rather have him play it out a little bit more cleanly, even just grouping with team.
His overextension there did let his Olaf pick up the Rift Herald, which is pretty important considering how early game Olaf is focused. He wants to get out on the map, wants to get as many objectives as possible on his own before he loses the ability to do so. About 25 minutes into the game.
Yeah, we do see a little bit more of a squandering, actually, of some gold in terms of optimal item build. It's going to be Crusty Pizza going for the Leandries, which isn't necessarily bad on Azir by any means, but against 4 Squishies and Trundle, would probably have much rather seen the Luden's Echo here. Generally speaking, the more popular build right now on Azir anyway, as here comes Mikey Milk looking for the 1v1, but that you are not the Fed set, buddy, and that is a Duelist. You do not have the healing to go around. Mikey Milk going to put down the Black Shield just for 2. All too cool. Pops it. Try to get the healing back with the Black Shield. Not enough to save him. Now Litchi Rain coming in with the TB. Darkbind is next. It will be the trade kill, but Mikey Milk taking a 1v1. He just cannot afford at this point in the game. And Lord Niter coming up with a little more gold now. Starting to get some item stuff through. Hoping he sells the second door. Play it as all too cool. Gets pillared. There comes the ultimate from Litchi Rain. Conk out in the area as well. And that's the person you should fear. The subject coming through, but a great ulti by Kid Cool will buy the time for the team to escape. As there's a flash away. Drummer though in trouble. Great flash of the stream itself, but it's not gonna matter when Caitlyn hits you like that. All too cool though, checking in. The suppression comes through. That's gonna be a kill onto the support. Can Litchi Rain find it? The slow's coming through. It might be enough. The Gold Drinker to find the healing. The burn damage still taking him down though. He has to be careful for Lucas. He can still possibly win this one out. The Malefic Vision still doing so much work. Has to use the second Haymaker to get away as Lord Niter looks for the 1v1 with Conk out. In melee range, the Caitlyn can possibly lose this one. But there's the headshot, there's the Q, there's the kill. As Crusty Pizza burning, Mikey down. Oh, the Zanya's Hourglass to reset the minion aggro. And he gets away with single-digit HP. No!
No! Oh my god!
The cannon re-aggroes! Oh no! Oh no! Oh. Yeah,
Well,
you flash that mastery, Lucas. You deserve it.
Very interesting things happening.
Oh, it's a fucking dagger.
Caitlyn.
My friend. Oh, jeez.
Olaf, in the middle of all of that insanity, quietly takes Drake in the bot lane. That is the second Drake to Monster Energy team. A lot of things are happening.
Yeah, this is a game. I mean,
this certainly is a game of League of Legends that we're watching.
We saw the clean play from Monster Game 1, and now we're seeing the happy game. Now we're seeing the G2 style happy game, where we get the giant lead, and then we just grief it until the game ends. And with an 11k, almost an 11k gold lead, you could definitely do that and still be okay. But you do still have to be worried that this Malzahar has a lot of gold. Has a lot of gold.
Malzahar is just, I think he's decently strong into their team because I think he outranges Kate with his Q even. I think she...
I'm not entirely sure on that. I do not know the exact range.
Her auto attacks are around 600 range, and if I remember correctly, Malzahar...
possibly just
caught out.
Oh, there's a teleport, but good injection by the time Dark Binding hits. Lord Niter's here, but I'm not sure how much good he's gonna do. Zonya's by all cool. Good repost. Doesn't time it very correctly though, and so that will be the killer. Litchi Rain, Concal coming from downtown for the assist. And yep, that's 2 quick kills. And this might just be the push down mid lane here. Is Litchi Rain looking for as Ultra just has to keep dodging out of Lucas' spells here to make sure he doesn't burn down from Leandries. and Malefic Visions.
Now, I was going to say, if I remember correctly, Malzahar has over 800 range on his Q, which just it puts Caitlyn to shame, even Caitlyn.
There we go. As inhibitor T going down. Yeah, Azir.
Like I said, it's very
lose.
difficult. Very difficult for Trundle to even just touch Azir.
Yeah.
He has that dash. His Q doesn't slow. I was mistaken on that, but yeah, that's very brutal for the Trundle there.
Ooh, Luchi Rain. Just gonna walk around. You know, he's fed on set once again. 7 and 3. Item and a half. As Alter Goal finds the target binding. That's just one Caitlyn Q. As there comes the
Caitlyn ult coming through.
Ace.
Not gonna hit.
It's blocked up. It's a group of people with a Sona around. That's gonna totally fine. Krusty Pizza gets the tier 2 bot lane. We get the tier 1 mid. It's still only 18 minutes and 30 seconds into the game, and we have a 13,000 gold lead. This is just a waiting for Baron to spawn now, so the game will be over.
Now, you did mention on an earlier cast something about a 10,000 gold difference being the final nail in the coffin for most teams. Where the second you got to a 10,000 gold difference, it was usually game over. So a 13,000 gold difference, that and beyond, that Bath and beyond, 10,000 gold and beyond, it's gonna be brutal. If Monarchs ever wants to try to come back.
Yeah, absolutely. This is honestly, if we're gonna be frank with you here on the cast team, we have well surpassed what we call the comebackable gold gap.
There it is.
So this is the waiting for the Nexus to drop on red. There's a lot of screw ups that have to happen in a very particular order.
We could turn off the stream right now, and you would all have a roughly 90% chance of knowing.
I'd say 90. I'd say
99,
95, 98.
95.
I'll give him the
very
two,
high
I'll give him the
number.
2%er if Fiora somehow manages to sit this game out for 50 more minutes and comes online. Same with Malzahar and Sona. Like, there is plenty of scaling elements, but they're just so far behind. It is a very unwinnable position. This is the FF guys. We go next. Better luck for the second game of the Super Week. This one's not turning up in our favor because even with this massive gold lead, it's only 16. I mean, I say only. It's 60 to 8 kills. It's not like there's 50-something kills this game. It's a lot of CS diffs. It's a lot of gold diffs. It's a lot of unfortunate shutdowns over to each side, and that just adds up and adds up and adds up to the point where you get these massive gold leads. As there's no point even contesting this from Monarch. You should just be farming at this point. This is what you do when you want to end the game quicker, but don't look like you're actually losing the game.
I would just like to see Monarchs go to Baron and threaten that. I think that they can't contest
I
it.
don't think they can even threaten the Baron.
I don't think they can threaten the Baron,
There's a
but I would have liked
showstopper
to see
in.
them
Find
try.
the 3-man. Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
It's so doomed. One kill comes back through on Elixir, but he has done more than his fair share of the work. Double kill over to the Caitlyn. Making it a triple for the road. And yep, that we were talking about at the end. This is going to be even quicker as they're not going to need the Baron. Only 12 seconds on Soda. The death timers aren't that long at this point in the game, but we do have, yet again, the end of the game herald.
Are you asking if we can see that 1v5 Sona play that we all know and love so dearly? The classic Sona
Everyone up,
Pentacle?
9 seconds to go.
Oh,
The
my
TP to
quad
save
member.
the minion as Sona dies soon. Not yet. Okay, lives. Never mind. Good ulti to get away, but it only doesn't buy enough time for the rest of the team to respawn. Here comes Lord Knight into the fray, and they actually are going to take the fight here as the Nexus not getting hit. Ulti cool, pops the ultimate. Good repost. Has to burst the flash on Morgana. Now, Kilak goes in, finds Krusty Pizza. Caitlyn, though, still alive, still the main target, still should be the target of most of his aggression, and the Nexus still more than open. The final stand, though, coming out from Lucas. This Malefic Vision doing a lot of work as the root comes down, and that's another kill for Cal. Reflecting grabbing the bonus gold, and the minions are coming in, but that Malzahar doing so much damage. Ulticool burning down from, and Lucas got another kill. The Nexus actually going to still stand, and somehow the base defense from 15,000 down actually succeeding
incredibly
with
powerful
T-Rain. Flashes
Malzahar,
forward,
but-
almost finding Lucas, but the ulti comes out and he might be able to get away. There's the Ignite. Showstopper going to come down and buy some space. T-Rain still holding on to that W. Still holding on to the W as the kill comes through onto Malzahar through the Ignite. Finally gets the Black Shield. We're still not hitting Nexus. We're still going for the stat padding. Taymaker not going to do enough work as Killax going forward. There's the Angelic Crystal Air. It's another kill. The Nexus still stands
Still
to
alive.
this day, and this is the happy game.
Yeah.
This is the happy game.
I'm not sure entirely why they didn't just hit Nexus. I think that's a very cocky move. I think that they can go for the cocky move here with that now up to 16,000 gold difference even after that. But what I was going to mention before the massive team-wide Drake fight was that all the structures on Monarch's team are down as well, and that provides so much gold for Concal's team.
Yep, Killax possibly cut out his inside the jungle. Concal says, that is my red buff, sir. You do not have a jungle at this point in the game. I have a 12-0, 3.75 item Caitlyn.
Now,
you can go back to the base you came from.
I would like to mention, Caitlyn has more than double Ash's gold here. Just looking at the individual gold stats.
Yep.
It's not looking very good.
Here. This should be the end for sure. We got Baroned up minions. An absolutely ridiculous gold difference that's not even remotely okay.
Fiora's looking for the bot lane split push.
Yeah, Fiora going to go for
are you thinking
the
anything's
late
gonna
game.
happen
The one
there?
item Fiora with still 2 D blades. Looking for the split push. Lichy Rain can probably just walk up and kill somebody and the game ends. Preferably Malzahar, but a good son ulti does find Concal. There's no follow damage though. And the wallet falls a little heavy as Concal just gonna kite out the Trundle. There comes the set ultimate, there comes the face breaker. No haymaker just yet as he is stunned up, but it comes through eventually, and Drummer not able to skip that as we're gonna go for more stat padding onto Lucas. The shuffle finds Mark as the TP play into the own base. Might want to use that bot lane, at least get a few extra creeps toward the creep score. There's Dark Fighting, there's damage, and there's the ace.
Ooh.
Courtesy of Concal, and the Nexus falls on game 2 in a very deja vu fashion with a 20,000 gold lead
21,000.
as the Nexus ends. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is quite possibly one of the biggest stomps in PSU LCS history. At least
Biggest
as
stomp
far
I've
as
seen.
I've been on cast, which is a while at this point.
I'm out of focus. I'm blurry. What's
I
happening
can't
to
fix
me?
that. That's not
Whoa.
that's
Ooh.
all you, buddy.
Great, I had to threaten my camera. I had to do a TikTok with anyway.
Moly.
That was a very brutal game. That was
Brutal would be putting it lightly. That's like
cruel.
we're talking about like Geneva Convention kind of stuff. That's
Now,
cruel and unusual punishment, possibly crimes against humanity.
Can you show the damage graphs on screen? Because Set and Caitlyn were pretty evenly matched in that department.
That I can, sir.
Uh,
So, yep, this is the
I figure it's better than looking at my mug.
All the graphics so you guys can see this nice and pretty. So this is the damage graphs. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty
Props to
hard...
Lucas. Props to Lucas for doing he did his work. He did what he could.
Trying his hardest.
He did
putting
his,
out
he
as
did
much
what he
damage
could.
as possible. But the team just couldn't follow up with that damage.
I mean, you
Morgana
basically
put out
were
surprising amount of damage.
Yeah, you have a lot of burn damage and stuff on that side of things, so definitely not that surprising. Morgana does normally have like an absurdly high damage for the effect she has, because a lot of it's just chip and burn damage, which does add up over time, but it doesn't necessarily net you that much half the time. It just, over time, eventually gets to the point where it becomes an issue.
Now, I do like seeing that Olaf doesn't have that much damage. I like seeing this because it shows that instead of like just randomly taking fights in lanes that are already won, instead of like obviously diving is what you want to do as a jungler to push the advantage, but instead of taking fights in lanes that are already won, he went for objectives, and he just got every Rift Herald, every Dragon, Baron, like whenever there's an objective around the map, got it. I saw him counter jungling pretty frequently. Yeah, someone in the chat says Monarch needed to ban out that set next to Radio.
Yeah, set was...
I think the set ban would have been
Yeah,
better than the Ezreal ban.
yeah, I think you can give Concal as Ezreal. I don't think
Mhm.
that's
Now,
where. I mean, Concal was a problem, but
yeah.
I don't think Ezreal enhances that problem to a degree where you
Uh,
ban it over set.
and he says get something in mid that would allow them to get prio. It's very difficult to have a laner that pushes harder than Malzahar. Malzahar is a pretty fast clearer. The only ones I can really think of would be Azir, who was already picked, and who am I thinking of? I'm thinking of someone else clears mid lane faster.
There's a lot of mid lane fast clears. Vel'Koz insta
Yeah,
kills waves. Vel'Koz actually is a
Vel'Koz player.
Vel'Koz is actually a good matchup into
Hmm.
Azir, by the way. That's favorable for the Vel'Koz.
Hmm.
Um,
Well, my
doesn't
point is that
doesn't have mid
Malzahar kills.
prio, but is
Yeah,
favorable.
I think an AD assassin might have been better into Azir there
Yeah,
than
I'm.
Malzahar. I think
You could
Talon
say in
would
this
have
current
been.
mid meta, you could say AD assassin's better mid. Not it. Do you
Yeah,
even
I
do
mean,
you even need to know the second half of the matchup and just say the AD assassin's better than the mage? Probably. It's just how the items work right now and how the meta is shaped out. Where if you pick
yeah.
Zed, fun fact, you win solo queue games.
And then that Zed, if he manages to get that any amount of kills, could just delete Caitlyn. Caitlyn doesn't have too much peel
Caitlyn just
that
dies.
Zed can't
Caitlyn
dodge. Yeah,
just dies.
because Morgana relies on hitting the black shield on her ADC to keep them from getting CC'd. Zed has no
Yeah,
CC,
it doesn't
and she
matter
relies on hitting the dark binding, which Zed can usually W or R away from. It's
if you're talented enough. Yeah, for sure.
if you're talented enough. And then Kiana obviously will be able to just insta kill. Talon just
Kiana
roams.
just kills you.
I mean,
I
Kiana
think
just kills
Talon
you.
has a harder match. I think
Yeah, Talon would
Talon
not be
might be one of the
fantastic
ones
here.
I would not pick just because Azir ends up even staying in lane, having so much lane pressure that he
Mhm.
can just shove in the Talon. And if Talon just says abandons lane, Azir actually gets a lot of advantage from doing that. So might be one of the matches where I'm like, I don't know, just because Azir will be able to reap
Yeah,
so. If Talon's roams don't get a lot of advantages, Azir just
it'll
reaps
be
so
difficult
much of
for
advantage.
Talon to
So
get
yeah,
a lot of advantage.
Talon has I think
He's
a harder time than some because Talon doesn't necessarily have that much kill pressure on Azir himself.
he's also a very solo queue player. I think that if you know that Talon is roaming because your mid laner, you can hear in voice comms is calling that out. I think he's much less effective. Uh, I think that he wouldn't be a great pick here. Um, what's another good AD mid laner? Because there's a lot of fantastic ones right now.
Akshan.
Obviously, Action. They did ban Action.
Yeah, but they did ban Akshan. They also banned the Yone.
Mhm.
Yasuo is a mid laner. I don't think he's that fantastic right now unless you're using him in something
Yeah.
like the combos. Like actually, I very much like Yasuo in their game one draft. I think their game one
Oh yes,
draft
that was
was
incredible. I like it
overall
a lot.
fairly solid. I mean, Taric is the one pick where you could be like, just maybe pick something else in the range matchup, but otherwise
Mhm.
works perfectly well on theme with the rest of their champions. Fantastic. Um, I don't know what happened between game one and game two with the idea train because we kind of derailed into a comp that
Uh,
needed top and mid to have a lot of pressure and kills to be able to pull off a 1-3-1 or a 1-4. And then also be able to provide jungle pressure in matchups where you saw mid lane be even or slightly just barely winning for Monarchs in game one on the Yasuo pick, and then you had top lane just be an absolute wash game one, and then you put your top lane on a harder to execute on
yeah, I
champion against
think
the same champion, and it's kind of like I don't know. It's a bit confusing, but I mean
I think I would have
it's the
liked to see.
experiment.
I would have liked to see Trundle actually as the first red side pick in game two for Monarchs because they could flex him jungle A,
Trundle's
or
perfectly
they
good,
could
yeah,
just take him into
perfectly good.
set top lane, doesn't lose level one. He's very powerful at level six as well. Uh,
Yeah, level 6, I think he actually wins that matchup.
yeah, Trundle
Possibly,
wins
I'm not
basically
entirely sure. Set's a
if he
weird.
ults. Yeah.
Set's
If he
weird.
dodges the true damage, he
Yeah,
wins that. And he has so much move speed from his W that
and healing
it's entirely possible. Yes,
and vamp.
and healing. Mhm. His W gives him increased healing from all sources.
Yep.
For anyone who doesn't know, um, I think I would have liked to see the Trundle pick before the Fiora pick. I think either now tank duty isn't fantastic into set just because he gets that extra damage from the bonus health on the enemy frontliners. Um, but maybe even like a specialist pick, like a God forgive me for saying this, but a Heimerdinger top lane to just
No,
keep him at
cursed,
bay.
cursed, I say.
This anything to win PSU LCS. I think Heimerdinger auto pushes wave. I think unless Set plays it really well, which is entirely possible because it is a demon Diamond one top
Renekton's
laner.
turbo nerfed.
Don't
that
don't
that
play
champ
don't play
that
Renekton
champ
this.
is
Yeah.
real feels bad, sad croc hours.
Don't play Renekton this.
Yeah, sorry, next radio. That the W nerfs hurt a lot. They hurt a lot.
Now he does break Seth shields. That is true. But
I think he just
You're
dies
pick-
anyway.
you're picking Renekton in this patch. There's not much you can
Yeah,
really
it's
do
rough.
anyway.
Now we do have an
Um,
interview next to
mhm.
radio, or not next to radio. Sorry, Niter.
Yeah, Lord Niter, he's a
The end
team.
names are getting me here. As well as Mikey Milk. It looks like from what team is Mikey Milk on? Holy
We're having
crap,
a double.
my brain
Mikey Milk was
is
on the winning team.
dying. It is midnight. I desire the unconscious, or at least brainless activity.
Mhm.
But we are gonna pull Lord Niter in here for now, so we're gonna move him over to casters and give him voice permissions in just a second. So he's in. Give him position.
Hello, Lord Niter.
He can't talk yet. Hold on.
Oh yeah.
All right, he can now talk. All right.
And he disconnected from the call. Goodbye. Hello.
Hey, what's up?
Yep, there
Hi.
we go.
Hey.
Let me switch
Uh,
screens real quick so they can see everybody again.
Mhm.
Okay. All right, Lord Niter, welcome.
He's under the name Pop Giraffe.
Yeah, I'm fixing it. Fixing it.
So while you fix that, hey, Lord Niter, welcome to the beautiful casters chat.
Oh, thank you. Honor to be here.
So I want to ask, how were the games from your perspective? Because from ours, it didn't look too fun.
I don't think it was that bad, to be honest. But if I'm being completely serious, it's just small details that should have been fixed. Well, not should have been fixed, that I wasn't able to fix going into either game. Like, this day was just not good.
Like the Wukong level 1 trade into Set, we know that Wukong is strong early, and I'm assuming you knew that as well as a Wukong player, but yeah.
I was just way too rusty to understand that. Usually, I would be more aware of that. Just not now, I guess.
Yeah, my question was just some stuff here. The biggest difference we noticed from the series as a whole, from our side, I think there's not much else we can pick at. Once the gold lead starts getting 15, 20k in advantage, you start not being able to glean any useful information from what actually happens.
Yeah.
But with game 2, so game 1, we watched the draft unfold. You guys had a very solid team fight comp setup with a bunch of combo potential, and unfortunately the lane just didn't work out in a way where you could actually come back into the game. But even still, toward the end of the game, we saw the fights break out. We saw you guys have good coordination, good fighting. It just at that point was too far gone. And then we see the game 2 draft happen, and the style switch up was just like a light switch.
Night and day.
Yeah, we
You
started
want me to
looking at you
explain
doing
that?
like a 1-4, 1-3-1 style composition with a really awkward 4/3 mid. Would you like to? I mean, you don't have to tell us too much because we don't want to reveal your drafting
Sorry, give me
strategy
a
on
second.
stream. But like,
Yeah.
what the idea was behind like the switch over? Like, hey, this obviously didn't work. Let's try something entirely different. Or what was the thought switch?
Game 1, Wukong was fine into Set. Even though he got some nerfs, I thought he was fine. I messed up a lot game 1, and then I just got snowballed and dove multiple times.
Oh, he's muted now. Something.
Oh, something
I
happened.
think I heard someone walk into his room or something like that.
Okay.
And then it was just really unfortunate. 1 went down. Game 2, I told Litchi to play Set again because I would beat him. Like, that's why I told him, bro, bring it. Like, I told him.
I did
like,
see
you
that
can
in all
ask him.
chat at the start of the game. You wrote "Bring it, Litchi," and now the stream has all chat turned off, but I have it turned on, so I can see that.
Yeah, we turn all chat off on stream for some pretty good reasons.
But
the thing is, I honestly could have killed him and beaten him. Like, I was pressuring him really hard until I just took a tower shot. He E'd me. I took another tower shot. I just got murked on site. Like,
Yeah, that was the very clean play by him.
Yeah, Lychee.
Yeah,
I
there
don't
was.
think it was very clean by him. I think it was more bad by me, if I'm being completely honest. I just didn't play well. My team lost because of me. And, I consider it a learning experience. Like, Litchi is Diamond. I think he's pretty decent. I think on a better day, if I'm not rusty, I didn't I don't play much on the weekdays.
Mhm.
If I'm not rusty, I feel like I could have not lost, to be honest. I can just play so much better than that. I just let my team down. So
There's always more games, and
Yeah, a lot,
there's a lot more
more
games.
games to work on some stuff. That's for
uh,
sure.
and there's always more scrims to practice before games.
Absolutely.
yeah, I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
Very nice to hear. That's really the only questions I had for you this evening.
Uh,
Consola, you have anything else?
I was gonna ask about the Trundle pick and the style of the second draft, but that was pretty much already covered here.
I'm not going to talk about draft
Yeah,
picks.
That's fine.
there's
Totally good.
secret. Yeah, that's
Totally good.
It's just too important information.
that's also
There's a reason
anyone
for all
watching this.
that.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
As it should be. There should be some kind of reasoning for it. I understand.
I will say I'm excited to see your secret strategies in the future games. Honestly, I'm genuinely excited to see this. I really like the draft stage of the game. I think it's more important than a lot of people realize, and
Yeah,
excited to see it.
despite us losing very hard, I thought draft was just far better than it was when we played lethality.
Yeah, the Diana Wukong Yasuo, very nice draft.
Yeah, game one was a very nice accomplishment. The only question mark we had was around the Taric just because of lane matchup mostly, but for the team it was fantastic. It just unfortunately didn't end up coming together in the first game, but I'll say game one
Yeah, it
we
was a
very much
stopgap. It just be like that,
it happens. That's just how it
Yeah, it
goes
happens.
some days.
Yeah.
All right, well, Lord Knighter, thank you for joining us here for the stream again. Unfortunate how
Thanks
these
for coming
games
on.
went tonight, but hope to see you back in the future and see some more of these secret picks come out as the weeks wean on. And we'll catch you back next time, man.
Yeah, thank you. I'll see you later.
Absolutely. See you guys.
Goodbye.
All right. And I believe that is all we have for stream tonight as I switch back to the normal Casters live cam. That's all we have for you guys here tonight on Penn State League. Let me open up the Google Doc to see what we got coming up as the weekend goes on, because we are still in super week form, so there are a lot of games. Again, I'm not sure how many of these are going to get casted. We're going to try our best here. Currently, tomorrow at 4 p.m., Bang Energy Team versus Team Lethality. Chances of that being streamed are meh. We'll see. There's a little thing that you might have noticed if you're on campus called the Auburn game. Beat Auburn.
I will not be
JPG.
attending, so
I will be there, so I will not be hosting. I might be able to fit that in because it's not till 7. It's not. It's only a 7:30 game. So depending on my plans tomorrow, maybe not. We'll see what happens. That's just what happens when you plan your game on whiteout. So yeah, we'll see about it. As for Sunday, we have a bunch of games. Again, depending on what happens with Sunday, we'll see how many of these get streamed. We have a Saturday. I missed this one. It just got added. Team Lethality versus Enthusiasts is at 6:30 p.m. That's definitely not getting streamed. So, unfortunate. That's too close to the game for me at least, and we currently don't have a ton of hosts right now lurking around. So that's probably not going to happen Saturday. Sunday, we have a 9 p.m. game, University versus Mitmox team. Another 9 p.m. game, PSU Washed versus Krog for Sunday. And then 10 p.m. game, Death Cap for Q. Let's go. Versus Doom.
Is that against contract for you to root for one team over the other?
When I'm on it, absolutely not. That is called
Special
personal
exceptions for
bias.
yourself.
That
All
is
right.
personal bias, my friend, and you're allowed to have it, even as a caster. Those are the games coming up. Again, we'll try to stream what we can. With the whiteout game, it's going to be a little interesting, so we'll see about tomorrow. But Sunday, we should be able to get at least maybe one stream in, possibly. Someone schedule earlier than 6 so we can stream you before my game. Thank you very much. Just a suggestion. But we'll see what ends up happening. Thank you guys very much for joining us today. It's a very late stream, and, we're getting through it. I want the unconscious, so,
Yes.
yeah,
You're gonna
we're tired.
turn off stream, pass out in your chair.
Yeah.
I will not be going to bed. But anyway, I'm a League
Party
player. I don't know
late
what you want
night
from me.
animal.
No, yeah, I'm a real party animal. You can tell by the fact that I'm casting a League of Legends game at 12:30 on a Friday night. But anyway, on that sad note, I think that's all we have for you, folks.
Yep,
I think
that is it. So we'll see about what happens here tomorrow and Sunday in terms of streams, but we will see you guys regardless next time back on the Rift.
Bye bye.